Greetings, fellow Vikings. My name is Vinrenu, and this video is an example for the mandatory interview that you have to do to join the Comfy Valheim server. Um, any additional information that you might need is included in my first video of this series. There is a link in the description and also in the info card right now. If you have any further questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And now enjoy.
Hey, Vin, how are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm fine. Good evening.
Good, good, good. Vin, so I want to ask you a few questions. The first, I'd love to know, I'd love to know how long have you been playing Valheim for, and how many bosses have you killed so far?
For my part, I played Valheim for like, let's say 30 hours probably, and I killed the first three bosses actually. Yeah. Played with some friends on a private server, and then they stopped playing, and yeah. So I'm looking for a new server right now, and I found this on YouTube, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
Right on, right on. And how would you describe your play style? Are you a sailor? Are you a builder? Maybe you like to go out and kill things?
Yeah, so mostly I would say I like to explore the world a little bit and to build stuff, and yeah, sometimes also fight some enemies, go out with some other people on an expedition or something like that.
Right on, right on. The reason I ask is that this server has a number of guilds, and these are official guilds that are custom made for the server. They're run by our staff, and they're really built around different playing styles. And so, if you like to build things, I encourage you to check out the Builders Guild. If you like to sail, check out the Explorers Guild. And the nice thing about the guilds, you can join as many of them as you like. You don't have to join any guilds. And if you join a guild and it's not for you, you can leave. It's just an extra layer of content, of community, of events that really, help to build out the server and what's going on.
Oh yeah, that sounds really cool.
So, question for you: Are you going to be joining with an existing character, or are you going to build a new character for the server?
I would like to use my existing character.
Great. So you totally can. The big rule is that you're not allowed to bring in any items from outside the server. So no gear, no weapons, no food, no equipment. And the reason being is that this server has a really robust player driven in game economy. And so if we allowed folks to bring in stuff from outside the server, they would, it would crash that economy. So nothing from outside the server, but you are allowed to bring in an existing character. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So all right. So for example, let's say I just go on my private world, put all my stuff that I have on my character right now in a chest over there, so my character is like completely naked, and then I'm fine to join the server, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. And so that's what I recommend. It's always fun to start a new character, but if you're going to bring in an existing one, go ahead and drop your stuff on a private world, and then come in. And so that way, everyone can experience Valheim, progress through the game, and actually play the game, which I think is important. Um, okay, are you planning on bringing on are you currently using any mods, or are you planning on using mods on this server?
Yeah. So I'm using some mods right now in my private world, like Gizmo for building, for example, and so on. Um,
Awesome. So that's great. And so this server is a vanilla friendly server, which means that if you're not using any mods, that's totally fine. And in fact, I'd say probably 50 to 75% of the players actually don't use any mods at all. We do allow some explicit quality of life and aesthetic mods. These are only mods that we have looked into and made a decision that they don't convey any significant advantage over any vanilla players. And if you do want to use a mod, use any of the approved mods, I recommend folks using the Thunderstore mod manager. Download the Comfy mod pack, and makes it super easy. The big thing with mods that you have to keep in mind is that you're not allowed to use any mod that isn't explicitly allowed in the allowed mods channel, which you can find here in the Discord. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, all right. I checked
Awesome.
it out.
So just a few other things that I want to cover with you then. We do have a reporting system. And so if you encounter any issue with a person or a mechanic, or if your boat flips over and you need help getting it back up, which sometimes happens, submit a ticket, and someone from staff will be with you as quickly as they can. They're confidential, and so we encourage folks to be as honest as they can, and that way the staff can deal with any issues that you're facing. Just a few other rules that I want to cover. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, it's fine. Yeah, yeah, go on.
So, big rule is that we want folks to respect other people, respect their wishes, respect their belongings. Don't steal from other people. Don't steal from boats. Don't steal from carts. And we actually ask, not only don't steal from gravestones, but we ask that folks don't look inside them, because if you don't have the same mod set as another player, there's a risk of item loss. So just leave the gravestones alone. Plus, they're a monument to a time where someone suffered probably a grisly death. We want to be respectful. All right. All items and resources must be earned within the server. Don't bring anything from outside the server. Uh, Play with other players in mind. So only ward your own builds. Don't block anything essential for core gameplay progression. Don't build up bosses or crypts. Um, we already covered not allowed to use any mods that aren't explicitly allowed. And then finally, here, your nickname in Discord has to include your exact in game character name. You got to keep map visibility on while you're in the server. And finally, just cooperate with staff. If a moderator or an admin asks you to do something, you should probably do it. Because if you don't, they can just smite you, right? They can do that. All right, so that's all I've got for you. Vin, what questions do you have for me?
Yeah, so I've already changed my nickname to have the correct nickname, and I think I've two more questions. The first one would be, so if there's like any empty place of land on the world, there are no other wards or buildings nearby, I can build there, right? Or is there, yeah. Um,
That's right. If you can find, once you find a spot of land that is, has a little bit of space, you can start building. What I recommend is basically two things. One, be respectful of other people. So you don't want to start building literally right next to someone that's already there. If you're building a home, like, find a piece of land that's far enough away that you can expand and they can expand, and there's not going to be any issues.
All right, yeah, no, that sounds good to me. So last question in regards to the resources. So I've heard they get respawned sometimes. Is that correct?
Yes. And so the staff will go around and respawn resources. And so it's relatively random. The staff will fly across the world, and will be able to uh, get items placed across the world. And so you'll find, silver can be respawned, crypts can be respawned, copper, all of those materials. And so it's not on a timer, and so it does mean you do have to keep on exploring, and look out for it. But there's never going to be a an end to any of the resources on the server.
All right, yeah, that sounds good to me. And if there's like something I can't find right now, or I want to need it, I can always trade with other players, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got that in-game economy. If you need to make gold, then go into the merchants channel and look for a job, or find a quest. And there's tons of quests out in the game. Make some gold, and buy some materials, or trade with other players. You can definitely, get scrappy, make some money in the game, and there's an economy that can make that happen.
All right, yeah, I think that's all from my side. Thank you very much for this nice interview.
Yeah, my pleasure. So you have been whitelisted, so you are welcome to join Comfy at your leisure. Welcome to Comfy Valheim. I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yeah, thanks, and yeah, see you soon.
All right, sounds good. Take care.
Bye.